Yes, students, in the previous class I told you that a protozoan by name Plasmodium causes malaria. Now in this class let us see the life cycle of Plasmodium. Okay. Plasmodium requires two hosts to complete its life cycle. Number one is human and the second is female Anopheles mosquito. In addition, the life cycle takes place in two phases. Number one is asexual phase and the second is the sexual phase. Now, asexual phase occurs in human and the sexual phase occurs in mosquito, that is female Anopheles mosquito. Let us see now. Okay. At first, let me start with the word infected female Anopheles mosquito. When I complete the cycle, you will understand the meaning of it. Okay. When infected female Anopheles mosquito bites human, it releases, that is the female Anopheles mosquito releases the infectious form of Plasmodium which are called sporozoites into human blood. In human, the sporozoites traverses through blood and enters liver cells. So, sporozoites enters what? Liver cells. These sporozoites undergoes asexual reproduction, that is, it multiplies, and then the liver cells burst open to release the infectious form, that is sporozoites, but after maturity these sporozoites comes out as merozoites. Okay. So, what do you call this? Merozoites. Okay. These merozoites enters RBC. There too the merozoites multiply. Okay. Plenty of such cells are formed, merozoites are formed, and then again these merozoites too comes out of the RBC. They come out of the RBC. Okay. Now these merozoites remain as such, but some of the merozoites enters fresh RBC. They enter fresh RBC. Okay. So, these are fresh RBC. Yes, students, very, very important stage in the life cycle. Now, I told you RBCs to rupture and then merozoites comes out and then enters, some of them enter fresh RBC. What is the important stage here? As and when the merozoites comes out of RBC, as and when the merozoites comes out of RBC, along with this merozoites, that is associated with the merozoites, a toxic substance called hemozoin is released. A toxic substance called hemozoin is also released along with the merozoites. Okay. It is this hemozoin that is responsible for chills and fever every 3 to 4 days. Every 3 to 4 days, recurrent fever and chills occur, especially midnight chills. Okay, let us keep this aside on one side. Okay, on the other hand, some of the merozoites will enter fresh RBC. Okay, and they develop into special cells which are called gametocytes. Some of them develop into gametocytes. So, what are these gametocytes? These are nothing but the sex cells. Okay. Here we find the male gametocyte and the female gametocyte. Now what happens? This RBC2 ruptures and then releases the gametocytes. So, which are the gametocytes I told you? These are all the gametocytes that is released, that is male gametocyte and female gametocytes are released. Where are they released? They are released in the bloodstream. So, these are released in the blood. Okay? These are released in the blood. So, these gametocytes are released in the blood. Hope you understood. Merozoites multiplies in the liver cells, then it bursts the liver cells and comes out. As the merozoites comes out, they enter RBC. Even their asexual reproduction occurs and number of merozoites are formed, but as and when it comes out, it is associated with a toxic substance, that is hemozoin, which is responsible for the chills and the fever that recurs every 3 to 4 days. Now what happens is, some of the merozoites remain as such, but some of them enters fresh RBCs and develop into sex cells, that is gametocytes, male and the female gametocytes. Later, they burst open even those fresh RBCs and comes out into the bloodstream. So, now in the bloodstream as well as in RBC, some of the gametocytes will be left over. RBCs also have gametocytes, whereas bloodstream also has gametocytes. Okay. Now, at this stage, so which stage? In human blood as well as in RBC, there are gametocytes, that is the sex cells. At this stage, when a female Anopheles mosquito bites human, that means it sucks the blood. Along with the blood, the gametocytes enters. So, when it bites human, along with the blood, the gametocytes enters the intestine of the mosquito. Now, in the intestine, the male gametocyte and the female gametocyte fuses to form the infectious form called sporozoites. These sporozoites migrates to, that is from the intestine and then stomach, it migrates to the salivary glands of the mosquito. Soon after the sporozoites enters, or soon after the sporozoites are formed, okay, soon after the sporozoites are formed in the intestine of mosquito, and then it migrates to the salivary gland of the mosquito. This mosquito is said to be the infected female Anopheles mosquito. Hope you understood now. When do you say it is infected female Anopheles mosquito? When the sporozoites are formed in the intestine and then it migrates to the salivary gland of the mosquito. We call that as infected female Anopheles mosquito. When this infected female Anopheles mosquito bites again another human who is healthy, the cycle repeats. Okay? Life cycle of Plasmodium, this is given in the text. See here, you can go through this. You can write this as well. It's very easy. Okay. Now, infected female Anopheles mosquito bites human, then sporozoites enter. When he infected female Anopheles mosquito bites human, then sporozoites enter the liver cell and undergo sexual reproduction. Okay, I have explained all the steps. Please go through these. Plasmodium requires two hosts to complete its life cycle, human and female Anopheles mosquito. It involves two phases, sexual phase in mosquito, asexual phase in human. When an infected female Anopheles mosquito bites a healthy human, it injects the sporozoites of Plasmodium. The sporozoites enter the liver cells of human through blood in the liver, sporozoites multiply and they emerge out as merozoites by bursting the liver cell. Look at all the words. The merozoites enters RBC and multiply asexually. It is in human. They then burst RBC and comes out associated with a toxic substance, which is the most important substance, hemozoin, that is responsible for midnight chills in human, recurring fever for every 4 to 5 days. Some recurring fever every 4 to 5 hours. Some merozoites again enter fresh RBCs and develop into special cells called gametocytes. Look at the words, very important. First is sporozoites, merozoites, hemozoin, gametocytes. Okay. This is the sexual stage of Plasmodium. Which one? Gametocyte. Okay. Sporozoites are asexual. When here I told you it injects sporozoites of Plasmodium, these sporozoites enters the liver cells. Okay, this is seen in mosquito, asexual phase. These gamocytes enters mosquito with blood meal when it bites the infected person. In the intestine of mosquito, the male and the female, okay, NEET question, in the intestine of mosquito, the male and the female gametocytes fuse to form sporozoids. These sporozoids migrate to the salivary gland of the mosquito. This mosquito with sporozoids is said to be infected mosquito. When do you say the mosquito is infected? When this mosquito has the sporozoids in it. Okay, that is after the fusion of the male and the female gametocyte, they form sporozoids. Okay, now when this mosquito bites a healthy person, life cycle continues.